Hey guys, it's Cass here, and today I'm going to be talking about a bunch of different books that you could read for Femathon. So instead of going one book for each category, I'm just going to throw out loads of different books, talk about them a little bit, not too in depth, and hopefully you find something that sounds decent. So I'm just going to start pulling stuff off and saying words. The Noughts and Crosses series by Mallory Blackman. I would even go maybe as far to say as this is like a modern classic in England. Because you can do what you want, but this also has black main characters. It's a sci-fi dystopian where basically race is flipped on its head and the black people are the ones that are in power, and it's the white people that are seen as the second-class citizens, as not as good. And it's all about politics and race and family and all that good stuff, and it's really good, so read it. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Femmes definitely fight back in here because Katniss is a fighter. You could even read the first one as platonic femme friendships because Katniss definitely forms a bit of a friendship bond with Rue. If you know, you know. Golden Boy would work for LGBTQIA+ because this is about an intersex boy who, first of all, trigger warnings, right at the beginning of this book there is a pretty graphic rape scene, so just throwing that out there. But if you can deal with that, this book's amazing. It's about a boy who's intersex and he gets raped, and then from there he starts thinking about all the sort of feminine side of who he is, because obviously he has both sexual organs, and then when intersex babies are born they're like forced a gender onto them, so this is all about that forced agenda. Is it the right one? Should it be forced? All these different things. And yeah, I don't want to say too much about this because it's just great going into it. Obviously if you can't handle that trigger that I said, then don't read it, but if you can, then it's a really good book. Obviously I can't not plug my sister's books here because they work perfectly. The Consolation Saga, for example, is a fantasy series with a bunch of people with different powers, and they have to fight this different alien race that's coming to try and take over their planet. And first of all, it's amazing. Second of all, it works for platonic femme relationships because a lot of the characters in this group are women and they get along. Imagine that. And femmes fight back because some of the characters that normally would be coded as weak and, you know, oh, the blonde bimbo, whatever, fucking badass. So, you know, read this series. And then the Mayamon series also works for femme positive and platonic friendships and all the fun stuff. Female main characters, monster catching like Pokemon. Read them. Wolf in the Water by Jodie Jaffrey. This book is about these people that live in a very isolated place. They don't know what's outside that place. They're being kept, the secrets are being kept, but mainly it's about a main character whose father dies, and then she has to, well, she has to marry because women don't have the rights in here. But this is definitely a femme fights back because she's fighting back for power and for her own autonomy. She's also disabled. She was ill as a child and has to use a walking stick to get around now. It's also LGBTQIA+ because she has a bit of a relationship with a girl in here, so fits loads of prompts. Graceland on Fire by Kristen Cashore. These are companion novels, so the first one takes place at a certain point, the second one takes place before that happens, following different female characters who have powers and having to fight in their own sort of way. For example, in Graceling, different people are born with these different graces, and the main character in here, her power is basically being able to be a really good assassin and kill people. Does she want to kill people? Is she being used by the higher ups that she's forced to? And then in this one set before then, the character is partly a monster. I don't know if it's spoilers or not, but basically she has beauty that can make people go wild and want to kill her or have her. So both of these are really good. I've not read the third one yet though. Not Your Sidekick by C.B. Lee. This is superpowers, fighting crime, baddies, goodies, LGBT. There's a female-female relationship in here. Also people of colour and femme positive, because every book about a female, written by a female, probably positive. Most books, there are probably some that aren't, but still. The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth. This has a lesbian main character. It also deals with like correcting people that are not straight, so maybe that's not what you want to read, but it's a good book. It also has disability rep. I can't remember if the character's male or female though, but when she does go to one of them camps, one of them has a prosthetic limb, so it could work for that as well. A Very Large Expansive Sea by Tahara Mafi works for woman of colour, femmes fight back, femme positive. It's all about being a female Muslim who also enjoys breakdancing, and it's set around 9/11, just a year or two after that, so there's all that sort of racism in here as well. If I Was Your Girl and Birthday by Meredith Russo both have trans female main characters. Both are contemporaries. One is where she goes to a new school and nobody knows that she's trans, and the other one is told every year on her birthday for many years, and it's about the love that blossoms between her and a friend and goes through the transition phase and all that. Alright, get down. The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, of course, accounts for a black main character. This is about police brutality and fighting back. So femmes fight back, obviously more than just the female characters fight back, but maybe it counts for that as well. We're about halfway through, so let's hop on over to one of our sponsors and then we'll be back. You see guys, this black and white cat is the newest subscriber. Check my last vlog if you want to know why. Look how happy he is. The Nowhere Girls by Amy Reed is about a bunch of girls who get together and fight back because a girl who's left their school was sexually harassed, maybe even raped, I can't remember 100%. And then basically she's been shooed out and the boys are still there. So femmes fight back. There's also LGBT characters in here. There's also platonic female friendships because obviously all these girls are getting together trying to see what they can do about this. If you want a non-fiction that isn't too heavy, then Smile by Raina Telgemeier is about her getting braces, and it's literally a comic. So non-fiction doesn't always have to be super heavy. Another sort of non-fiction is El Defo by CC Bell. It is telling her real life story, but she's also a bunny. It counts as non-fiction. Obviously also disability because it's about her being deaf. If you don't want to be reading loads of big novels, then at least the femme positive and the platonic female relationships can be found in a bunch of different graphic novels that deal with groups of girls. Also, I think all of these also have female-female relationships in it, if I'm right, if I'm wrong. So we've got Misfit City, which is pretty much a female version of the Goonies. Rat Queens, which is about this girl gang who are an elf, a dwarf, a human, a smidgen, going around and battling. Snot Girl is about a girl who is an influencer. She's a fashion blogger, and then it's really weird and weird stuff happens. I'm not even 100% sure how to categorise this, but it's weird. Slam is about roller derby, I think it's called. We can go on the roller skates around the thing. And yeah, it's a female roller derby, so all the characters are girls. And Giant Days is about a girl gang at college and just stuff happening. Maybe you want your non-fiction a little more serious, so Girl Interrupted by Susanna Kaysen. It's very small as well, so great for a readathon. This is non-fiction about Susanna when she was put into a mental institute, so obviously it also works for the disability one, and it's an interesting read. Obviously deals with loads of different female patients. More non-fiction, My Mad Fat Diary and My Madder Fatter Diary by Raelle. These are Raelle's diaries from when she was a teenager, and deal with an eating disorder and friendship stuff, the normal teenage stuff, but also on top of that having mental health issues and self-harm issues and all that stuff. So non-fiction and the disability. Also a platonic femme relationship. The prompt isn't positive, lovely platonic female relationship. So these diaries do deal a lot with Ray and her relationship with her mother, which isn't necessarily a great thing, but it is a platonic female relationship. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston counts as obviously black main character, also femme positive, female relationships, platonic female relationships as well, because her best friend is a were-dragon who is also a girl. And this one is about Amari going after this weird secret organisation and finding out that all the mythical creatures exist in real life, and she's also trying to figure out where her brother is because he's gone missing. Also, Bingo Love, very small comic. It's thinner than normal, and as you can see, this is a love story between two women that spans many years. It obviously counts as black characters as well, LGBT, female relationships, femme positive. It might even fit for disability, I'm not 100% sure, but read it and then you count it yourself, see. The Definition of Us by Sarah Harris is about a group of patients that are worried about their therapist, and they go on a road trip to try and figure out where he is and why he hasn't come into work. The main character is female, obviously dealing with mental health issues, so it works for disability. And finally, A Quiet Kind of Thunder by Sarah Barnard. This is a contemporary romance between two characters at a school. One of them is a new guy, Reese, who is deaf, and one of them is our main character, Steffi, who is a selective mute, and it's about their relationship getting together. Obviously deals with disability in here. Also platonic female relationships, because it talks a lot about their families as well and their family dynamics. So there we go, there was loads and loads of recommendations. If you want any more info on any of them books, then let me know down below and I'll go into more detail about them, or check them out on Goodreads or whatever. But I didn't go very into detail with these because I wanted to just throw out as many as possible. My TBR is coming very soon and I'm very excited about it, so definitely come back for that, because obviously there's going to be more recommendations on there. I haven't read them yet, but I feel like all of them are going to be great. So if this is your first video by me and you enjoy it, then please check out some of my others, and if you continue to enjoy, then please subscribe, that'd be awesome. Anyway guys, I'll see you in a few days with another video. Bye.